The Phantom of Frost Hollow. It was Christmas Eve in the small, secluded village of Frost Hollow. The town, nestled deep in a forest of evergreens, was known for its heavy snowfalls and ancient traditions. Yet beneath the surface of its picturesque beauty lay a dark secret, a tragedy that many locals dared not speak of, especially on the coldest night of the year. For centuries, the villagers had warned newcomers to avoid the abandoned Frost Hollow Manor. Perched on a hill overlooking the town, the manor had stood empty since the late 1800s. Legend held that the house was haunted by the spirit of Eleanor Frost, a wealthy widow who had died under mysterious circumstances on Christmas Eve in 1893. Her death, coupled with the unexplained disappearance of her entire household staff, had left an indelible mark on the town's history. 17-year-old Mark and his friends were new to Frost Hollow, having moved there only months earlier. Unlike the superstitious locals, they dismissed the stories of Eleanor's ghost as nothing more than folklore. Seeking a thrill, they dared each other to spend the night in the manor. Armed with flashlights, snacks, and a smartphone to document their escapade, the group of four made their way up the snowy hill just as the church bells struck midnight. The air grew colder as they approached the manor. Its once grand facade was weathered and crumbling, the windows gaping like empty eye sockets. The door creaked open with an unsettling ease, as if welcoming them inside. They stepped into the grand hall, where a massive chandelier hung precariously, its crystals casting fractured reflections on the walls. "This is so lame," scoffed Mark, though his voice wavered slightly. "Let's find something spooky to film and get it over with." As they explored the house, strange things began to happen. Footsteps echoed in the distance, though no one else was there. The air grew heavy with the scent of decaying roses, and faint whispers seemed to drift through the halls. In one of the rooms, they found an old gramophone. Out of curiosity, Mark cranked its handle. To their astonishment, it began to play a haunting rendition of Silent Night, though the record player appeared broken. The melody was distorted, warping into a cacophony of eerie notes that sent chills down their spines. "Okay, that's creepy," muttered Lisa, one of Mark's friends. "Let's just go." "No way," Mark insisted. "We've got to find the source of those whispers. Maybe it's just an echo or something explainable." Their search led them to a large parlor dominated by a massive portrait of a woman in Victorian attire. Her piercing blue eyes seemed to follow them as they moved around the room. Beneath the painting, a plaque read, "Eleanor Frost, 1845 to 1893. As Mark approached the painting, the temperature plummeted. His breath fogged in the air, and the whispers grew louder, forming words. Suddenly, the chandelier in the grand hall crashed to the floor with a deafening roar. The sound echoed through the manor, shaking the walls and sending a cascade of dust and debris raining down. "That's it. I'm out of here," Lisa screamed, bolting toward the exit. But when they tried to leave, they found the front door sealed shut, as if an invisible force held it in place. The windows too refused to budge. Panic set in as the whispers turned into screams. "What do you want from us?" Mark shouted into the void. In response, the portrait of Eleanor Frost began to weep crimson tears. The liquid dripped from the canvas and pooled on the floor, forming words. The group exchanged terrified glances. "Justice for what?" Lisa whispered. A sudden vision engulfed them. They were no longer in the decaying manor but in a lavish, candlelit dining room. Eleanor Frost sat at the head of the table, her expression grim. Around her were her servants, their faces pale and fearful. A shadowy figure entered the room, brandishing a knife. One by one the servants fell, their screams echoing in the teenager's ears. Eleanor's eyes met theirs, pleading, before the vision faded. When they snapped back to reality, the group found themselves in utter darkness. A single voice, clear and mournful, spoke. "Find him. Tell them the truth." The front door suddenly flew open, letting in a blast of icy wind. Without hesitation, the group fled the manor, not stopping until they reached the safety of the village. The next day, Mark and his friends shared their experience with the town historian. The elderly woman's face grew pale as she listened. "The shadowy figure you saw was Eleanor's cousin," she explained. "He coveted her wealth and murdered her and her staff, staging it as a disappearance. The townsfolk suspected him but lacked evidence. Eleanor's spirit must still be seeking justice." Though shaken, the group resolved to honor Eleanor's plea. With the historian's help, they uncovered old letters and documents proving the cousin's guilt. The evidence was turned over to authorities, who arranged for a proper acknowledgement of Eleanor's tragic story. From that day forward, the hauntings ceased. Frost Hollow Manor remained abandoned, but the whispers and screams no longer echoed through its halls. Eleanor Frost, it seemed, had finally found peace. Hope you liked the video. Come back again. See you soon. Bye.